What an honor it is for me to be here today to speak with you. I teach newly retired singles to sparkle without torturing their friends and family. And a fact, I want to start out with this fact. In the center of your working spirit resides human ingenuity, creativity, innovation, and potentiality. Now, let me take you back to an early example of this in my life. I skipped second grade because I paid attention when my mom had me listen to my two older siblings practice their math flashcards. Even as a teenager, I wondered, pondered the mystery of my potentiality, even though I was growing up on a farm and milking cows and stacking hay. I was guarded and subdued youngster shrinking back, hoping to be safe from the abuse I saw around me. Ignoring the put downs and insults made my teen years agonizing and tough to shine or sparkle. So, head down, don't rock the boat, and be obedient was my survival mode. Desires to be pretty were kind of dangerous to even consider. At the same time, potential simmered underneath. New desires were beginning to be born, and they there wasn't a farm even in the picture. Could college be possible? There wouldn't be any financial help except because farm expenses were many. Could I see paying my own way? Was I brave enough to consider it? Now, a surprise opportunity came when our local bank's job offer sparked my hopes. Could be being voted the most likely to succeed in my senior class give me some favor? The job gave me a chance to save up for 1 year of college. It turns out gaining weight was indeed a way to handle feeling safe from unwanted attention. Working and going to school often meant grabbing a handful of cookies for dinner. After all, if you really knew me, who would love me? Dating wasn't on my radar. And can you relate to that, audience? How can you try to hide because you didn't love yourself? There wasn't any spark to be found in those days. Yet, as I started my career, I found myself empathizing with others who wanted to be seen and heard. It was important to me to help put other people at ease with positive comments. You see, deep down, my whole career, I felt invisible, unheard, and afraid to speak up, guarded and far from being enough. Lectures about our faith and family values reinforced I was different. Yet, a small measure of encouragement from a boss to take college supervision classes started me on a lifelong learning path. You know, books don't hurt. Courage grew since inch by inch, anything's a cinch. Success was up to me. I had to go it alone. Personal growth was important to me. As an introvert, I was okay with being alone. I liked my own company, and college continued with night and weekend classes, but no one came to my graduations, celebrated me, or rooted for me. It was okay. I was different, authentic to be my desired, and my self-help books opened me up to my uniqueness, and courage and potentiality began to grow. The good thing as I worked with people was that I was likable, a good listener, and put people at ease. Gradually, I liked being unique and vulnerable. I liked others who were unique too. And I became creative and making one of a kind, unique fabric art blocks, being creative. Though I was alone, I never feared the future. I had a strong faith and faith in the future. Even a growing sense of courage and confidence. I went on to complete a 2-year, 4-year degree, and during my graduate studies, I began recovery work to heal from inside. Bravery came from being willing to help those coming behind me as I took baby steps forward. Along the way, I took Dale Carnegie classes, attended Toastmasters, and attended the National Toastmasters Conference in Nashville. Courage was growing. Later, I accepted a transfer to Florida, and later, after that, moving to Texas on my own. Another brave decision. Yet being obedient to those nudges I felt in my spirit was important to me. It was while I was in Florida that I began to struggle. Making new friends became challenging, and homesick feelings were testing my willpower. To help me get straightened out, I did a scripture search on courage. Joshua chapters 1 and 2 was a gold mine. It says, do not be afraid. Be of good courage. Be very courageous. Be strong and of a good courage. Since the Lord my God is with me wherever I go, I'd stomp my foot and declare, I refuse to live my life based on fear. This was over 30 years ago, and I credit much of my youthful appearance to this one decision. Another amazing moment happened in Dallas at their May Fest one year. Late on that last day, I found a jewelry booth in the far corner that was outstanding. The designer had been a geometry teacher, and his creations were so unique. They were amazing. The designer had been a geometry teacher, and his creations were so unique. They were amazing. I tried on a set of rings, and something moved in my gut. What? I took them off and put them on again. The same thing happened. What's going on? I turned around, bewildered, and left. Later, an author recommended we use an object to describe our contributions to the world and our work. So I use these gorgeous rings in this exercise. How unique and fun. And it grew my courage too. Now I've gone on to use them to describe my soul, essence, DNA, GPS, or spark. The first weekend in my coaching studies, we generated our essence and spark statement. To end the process, we stood in a circle facing each other and read our end product. When it came my turn, it felt like no one had ever asked me to describe my soul before. Slowly I read, I am precious jewel of wisdom. I am colorful collaborator, motivator, and learner. I'm tranquil, authentic, and pure inspirer. I light fires. It's become my mission to ignite your spark. Now, a weird thing about me is I like to collect people's stories of near-death experiences. I notice how they describe heaven, the colors, the fragrances, the beauty, the flavors, the water, just everything about it. I'd imagine standing in heaven, absorbing all of its essence in every cell of my body. Then I'd ask myself, how would it change me here on earth? Now I intend to impact 10% of the baby boomers by inspiring them to repurpose their free time and pay forward activities from their spark so they unleash their dreams and strengthen our communities, nations, and the world. Now, after retiring, started bouncing off the walls after 3, 4 months and wondering how would I know I'm productive? I hate wasting things, and time is part of that. Since I made a wall hanging of my essence statement, one day I read it 3 different times until gradually I realized that when I lived from it, my core, what matters to me, every day felt right. Contentment and fulfillment came, and it's become my mission to ignite your spark. Gradually, I also embraced a recent profile that defined me as an influencer. Initially, I ignored it, thinking they made a mistake. Who, me? Then, finding more courage and bravery, I decided to take baby steps forward to see what would happen. A podcast guest opportunity came up and I took it. They said I had energy and was interesting. So they offered me to become my own host. And I did. And along the way, I become known as the Queen of Courage and embrace my growing visibility. After a healing step that is still growing is loving myself more on several different levels, embracing boldness, worthiness, loving my body, love who I'm becoming as an influencer. Today, become courageous to embrace who you are on the inside, your inner being, your spark, your true self. Be courageous to ignite your spark and step into a new level of self-love and a little bit of heaven on earth. My signature system is discover your spark, rekindle your joy.